Hello, welcome. Today you will be learning how to find the volume of prisms. We just finished finding surface area. When we found surface area, we are looking for how many square units that can cover the outer faces of the solid. But in volume now, we are looking for how much space, how many cubic units can fit inside any solid inside. So how much room that the solid have that it will be able to take cubic units. So the volume of a solid, or remember a solid is any three-dimensional figure, is the measure of the amount of space the solid occupies. So inside, so the volume is measured in cubic units because we're looking for how many cubic units it is, three-dimensional. To find the volume, we don't necessarily need the top of the base. We only need one base, the bottom, because for any container to hold something, it just needs to have one base and then the height. So even whether or not it has a cover, it will still hold the same amount of items inside. So that's why the volume is only concerned with the base area. And remember, the height is one-dimensional, that's small h, and the base is two-dimensional because it's area. Okay, and then of course the volume is going to be three-dimensional. So let's look at a problem. Find the volume of this item. Now, before you find the volume, it's very important you identify the solid. Why? Because once you call the name, that gives away the shape of the base. Because sometimes the base is not necessarily the part of the solid that is lying on the floor. Like this one, if you don't pay attention, you will think that the base is rectangle and then you do length times width. That would be wrong because this is a triangular prism. How do we know? Well, any prism must always have only lateral faces. So only rectangular lateral faces. So triangle cannot be a lateral face of a prism. Trapezoid cannot be the lateral face. So since there is a triangle here and there are two of them, there are always two bases. So since there is a triangle here, definitely that should be the base because it cannot be the lateral face. So that's how we know. So therefore, this is a triangular prism, and so the area is a triangle, so which means the base is going to be small base times the height times 1/2, or 1/2 times base times height, however you want to do it. And now our focus is just on the triangle alone. So the base and height of the triangle is 8 and 7 because the base and height has to meet together at forming a right angle. So it is 8 times 7 and then times 1/2. Okay, this 8 times 7 is 58. And 1/2 for 58 is, that goes into that 2, 16. Okay, 8. So, and it is unit square because all we have just found is the base area. As long as it's still area, it is two-dimensional, it is in unit square. Now we can find the volume. The volume is the base area times the height. So now that we have found the base area, we can use it to replace the b, and then the height. Now remember, the height is not the height of the triangle anymore. No, it is the height of the whole prism. So it is this part lying down here. Okay, 13. All right, so 28 times 13 should be 364. And now it is unit cube. Be sure and put that in because it makes a difference. It tells us that this is cubic unit, is three-dimensional. Okay, so that's the volume. Let's look at another problem. You can pause the video and try this yourself. I hope you can find out that this is a trapezoidal prism because it have a trapezoid in it. Okay, a prism, a lateral area cannot be anything else other than rectangle. So trapezoidal prism. So our value is going to be a trapezoid. So our B is going to be base 1 plus base 2 times the height times 1/2. Formula for area of a trapezoid. So, and focusing on the trapezoid now, just the trapezoid. Base 1 is 14, base 2 is 8, and the height. The height has to make a right angle with both bases. So that's how we know. Plus 8, and then times the height here is 4, and so 14 plus 8 is 22 times 4 times 1/2. If we want, we can multiply 22 by 4 and find 1/2, or we can even find 1/2 of 4, which I think is easier. So I'm going to find 1/2 of 4, which is 2, or 4 divided by 2, either way, means the same thing. Now, 2 times 2 should be 44. That's easier. Again, this is square centimeter because it's two-dimensional, but we are not done yet. So we need it as one of our ingredients to find the volume. So now the volume is the area of the base times the height of the prism. So again, it is no longer this height. It's not the height of the trapezoid. No, it is the height of the whole prism, which should be this lateral line. So the base area is 44. Replace it with that times the height, which is 10. So the volume will be 440, and it's centimeter cube. It's cubic centimeter. All right. Very good. So I think the volume should be easier. You should find it easier than the surface area because you don't have, all you need just one base area. That's all. You don't need to do anything with lateral faces. So, okay, here is a word problem. Olivia wants to buy a portable rectangular storage container. She wants the container to be able to hold up to 315 cubic units. Okay, I would underline that. And then that tells us that cubic unit reminds us of volume. So that must be, the volume must be 315 cubic inches. Okay, so and then it has to take only 45 square inches on her table, on her desk. So square unit again reminds us of area. So that would be the base area has to be 45 inches square. We ask us to find the height. Okay, so what do? We just write the formula, the base area of volume. Then we replace V with 315. We replace the area with 45. And we solve the equation for height. So we divide both sides by 45. Divide both sides by 45. Okay, so this goes out 1. 45 can go into that 7 times. Okay, so it should be our H is 7. Done. Okay, they ask us another question. What are the possible lengths of the width of the container, or the width and the length? Well, there are several ways you can do this. First of all, we know that the base area is 40. The base area is the rectangle because it's a rectangular storage. They told us it's a rectangular storage. So the base area should be length times width. And they gave us the base area, which is 45. So 45 should be length times width. So we want two numbers we can multiply together to get 45. That will be the length and the width. What are possible? You can do guess and check. Okay, find the number because 45 doesn't have that much. But just in case you find there one way you can be sure that you have all of them. So you can find the prime factorization of 45. So if we do prime factorization of 45. Divide 45 by all the primes. So starting with 2 cannot go, so do 3. 3 can go, and you get 15. 3 can go again, and you get 5. Okay, 3 can no longer go. 5 is the next. 5 can go 1. Okay, so the prime numbers are 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, so 1, you can keep 3 and then multiply these 2 because we only need 2. So that would be one possible number, either 3 by 15 or 15 by 3. Okay, there are 2 possible. Another one would be, okay, maybe multiplying these 2, which is 3 times 3, which is 9, and then keeping 5. Okay, so that would be 9 by 5 or 5 by 9. Okay, I think those are the only possible measurements for length and width. That's how you can do that. So be sure we have all of it. Okay, hope you got this. Good luck with your assignments.